Right now, the Austin City Council is talking about an ordinance that could have a big impact on how police operate. It would direct the city manager to work with APD to stop making arrests for some nonviolent misdemeanors. The issue is up for comment right now, live at the City Council. As KXAN's Katie Rodriguez reports, some say this will address some of the racial disparities in our city.
Chris Harris believes there's a problem with our justice system.
Yeah, racial disparities in arrests are a serious problem in our community.
That's why Council member Greg Casar says he wants to make a change.
And the guidelines for when you get a ticket versus when you get arrested leave something to be desired.
A study that tracked Austin Police Department arrests shows African Americans were more likely to get arrested than getting a ticket for minor, nonviolent misdemeanor offenses than any other race. Things like marijuana possession, driving with an invalid driver's license, and city ordinance violations.
African Americans and Latinos make up about 45% of Austin's population. But, for example, from police data, it shows that they make up 75% of the driving while license invalid arrests.
And Casar says this has a monetary impact.
It takes several hours, usually, for a police officer to arrest someone, to drive them down to booking, and to go through the booking process. And so that ultimately ends up costing the city a significant amount of money and resources that could be dedicated to something else.
He says he's been discussing this issue with his fellow council members and the police chief. He says they're committed to working on this. Casar understands this can be a tough subject, but is hopeful for the future.
I can understand why some people's natural inclination is to be defensive when we take on issues of race. And it's because there's a lot of emotions and history at stake. But it's really important for us to have those difficult conversations.
Something Harris is looking forward to. Katie Rodriguez, KXAN News.
We reached out to the APD, but they weren't able to comment. Taking a closer look at the numbers of those discretionary arrests, APD data shows that African Americans were arrested 2 times as often as they were cited. For whites and Hispanics, tickets were more frequent than arrests in those same type of cases. And new tonight, Austin City Council voted not to extend stipends for police. They ended last month, costing some officers thousands of dollars. Police were paid extra for things like working the night shift or being trained as a mental health officer. It was part of the old police contract. A new contract has not been hammered out yet.